We've got the Orange Blossom Classic preview right here on JeffLightsyJr YouTube. Woo! It's finally here, or it's almost here. Let's talk about it. Coach Simmons, FAMU, the Rattlers versus Coach Prime, JSU, the Tigers in Miami. Orange Blossom Classic. And they got some cool little things going on with the game. Let's talk about it after the bumper. Stay tuned. What is up, everybody? What is up, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. here at the Black Boss channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because we upload every single day. We're on the road to 4K. We're at over 3,100 subscribers, so continue to hit that subscribe button, continue to hit that like button, and share with your friends because today we are talking about the Orange Blossom Classic 2022. Coach Simmons, quarterback Jeremy Musa, and what's left of the FAMU Rattlers versus Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, Shedeur Sanders, QB1, and the Jackson State Tigers playing their first game of the season on their quest to repeat as SWAC champions. Now, we know how this game went last year. 7-6, FAMU couldn't score a touchdown. JSU couldn't score a touchdown after the first quarter. It was a defensive showcase. It was rain. It was turnovers. It was a lot of antics. It was Gilly on the sideline spiking the ball, getting a penalty. It was just everything. This game was everything and more, even throughout the rain. And the JSU Tigers, Coach Prime, in the return of the Orange Blossom Classic, I think after like 40 or 50 years, got the 7-6 win in the first Orange Blossom Classic, like I said, in the last 40 years. And now these two teams are revamped. They're better than last year. They're coming with more offensive firepower. And they're coming off of controversy in different, in different aspects, right? So FAMU, we know they have the compliance officers issues. They have the compliance issues. We're still waiting to hear to see if Isaiah Land, Cam Corvin, and others will be eligible for this game. But they have gotten the number down from 26 last week against the UNC down to 17. And so now we're waiting in the wee hours to see if those numbers can get even lower, hopefully to zero, probably not to zero, but hopefully getting guys like Isaiah Land, BJ Bowler, and Cam Corvin, 3 starters, to play in the game on Sunday against JSU. We also have got Jackson State coming to Miami off of a water crisis that's taking place back home in Jackson, Mississippi. If you don't know, Jackson, Mississippi has been without water for a while. Clean running water, no water, low water pressure. It's just been a mess. It's a state of emergency called by both the governor of Mississippi and by the president, Joe Biden. So Jackson State is dealing with their own set of issues back home in Jackson. Prayers up to the residents of Jackson. Hopefully they're able to get all of that figured out in a timely manner, but it looks like that may last a while. It says indefinitely as of now, so hopefully they're able to get that all situated. But nonetheless, prayers out and to the folks in Jackson. Hopefully the players at FAMU can get their eligibility, compliance stuff cleared up. But nonetheless, on Sunday, we're going to have a game. And we're going to have, in my opinion, even with everything that's taking place with both teams, a really highly competitive game. A highly competitive game and a big-time game that is going to be one to watch. It is going to have, I think, in my opinion, a lot of points and a lot of big moments. And there's going to be something, how football works typically. There's usually one play that sways the game in somebody's favor. And I think this game will be no different. I think this game will be hard fought. I think this game will have way more points than just the 13 that was scored last year. And that is based off what I've seen quarterback one, Jeremy Musa, for FAMU do against North Carolina, and this offense that I'm expecting Jackson State to trot out there on Sunday. I just think both aspects for both teams are better than last year, and I think we will see that on display in the Orange Blossom Classic. Now, I mentioned at the beginning, and then we'll get into details and who I think will win, prediction scores, all that stuff. But I did see something very interesting done by the staff over there running the Orange Blossom Classic in Miami. And this is something that they're doing to help the residents of Jackson. We just talked about the water crisis that's taking place, talking about 180,000 people without water, without running water, with low pressure, without clean water. It's just bad. It's not good at all. And this is what the OBC committee has come up with down in Miami to get people to help those citizens of Jackson, Mississippi, the residents of Jackson, Mississippi, while also promoting the game. Now, this tweet was put out there by the Orange Blossom Classic Committee. It says, let's help Jackson's water crisis. Bring 24 packs of water and receive 2 pairs of game day tickets. Meet us Saturday, September 3rd at Betty T. Ferguson from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Show your support. So the Orange Blossom Classic Committee is giving away 4 tickets to anyone that brings 2 packs of 24, 2 things of 24-pack water to give to the residents of Jackson, Mississippi. This is huge. Let's help fill up Jackson State's football equipment trailer. Donate 2 packs and receive 2 pair of game tickets. This is awesome. This is what you call a community coming together. This is how you support your brother. This is how you support your fellow brother. This is how you support your fellow man. This is how we as a people come together to help each other while also promoting something for the better good and also giving something in return, right? People love to receive things and not to give something. And so to give something, meaning the water that they desperately need, in return, we will reward you with 4 tickets to the game, something that all of you will probably coming to anyway, or some of you probably maybe or maybe not couldn't afford to come to. If you can afford to go out and buy 2 24 cases of water, we can afford to give you 4 tickets to the game. Bravo. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Clap it up for the committee, for Denny's, for 99 Jams, for Hot 105, for whoever thought of this idea down in Miami to help the city of Jackson. I love, love, love everything about this. This is what it's all about. This will not only help fill up the stadium even more, this will help more, now you're going to fill up this. Like if you was going to fill it up already, you're going to fill it up that much more, right? So some of those people that were going to be tailgating and not come in, now they're going to actually come into the game, right? So you're helping fill up the stadium even more. But most importantly, you're helping the city of Jackson, Mississippi get the clean water that they need. And we don't know how long this water crisis is going to last in Jackson. So every bottle, every case, every person donating matters. So shout out to the OBC committee for making that happen. Now, to the game. To the game, to the game. Woo! This is going to be one heck of a game. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait until it's here. It's almost here. We're getting ready. Keys to the game. So for me, the keys to the game for FAMU will be, can they keep that offensive firepower going even with more injuries to the offensive line? Now, we know the FAMU offensive line has been decimated by the compliance issues. The 26 ineligible players made it to where FAMU only had 7 available offensive linemen in North Carolina. You just can't play a football game like that. And now, after the North Carolina game, there were allegedly more injuries that took place. More injuries that saw a couple of players be out for the season. And so we know what Coach Dennis Thurman loves to do. He loves to rush the passer, whether it's if he has an elite pass rusher like he did last year with James Houston, or the exotic blitzes that he brings with Aubrey Miller, who finished the season with like 6 or 7 sacks last year. He loves to rush the passer. So having only possibly 5 or 6 or 7 available offensive linemen, it's not good against a guy like Dennis Thurman, who was going to force you make quick decisions from your quarterback, make accurate on-time passes from your quarterback, and make those in a time like faster, speed up the clock in the quarterback's brain, because he wants to get pressure. And the guys out there on the outside, the corners, the K5s, the Nuggets, the Travis Hunters, the Cameron Simmel Craigs, those guys are going to be matching up one-on-one, right? So can your guys, the Xavier Smiths of the world and others, beat Nugget, beat Travis, beat K5 one-on-one? Can they get open? I've seen Xavier Smith get open a number of times, not just throughout his career, but even last week against North Carolina. I've seen him do it. So can he do that? While in North Carolina, I will say this, hats off to Mack Brown and North Carolina. They didn't send much pressure. The pressure that North Carolina was able to get, 1, it came in the second half. They didn't get much pressure in the first half. And 2, it came from just the 4 down linemen. because of the deficiencies of FAMU and what FAMU was going through. I think this is just me. I don't know. I think Mac Brown took it lightly when it came to blitzing. He didn't blitz much. He didn't send much more than the 4 or 5 man pressure. And so that was him, being a gentleman, knowing that he had the upper hand, having an FBS team, having his full team, having the 85 scholarships, et cetera, et cetera. You're not getting that from Dennis Thurman. He's going to send everything in the kitchen sink, and his guys are going to be tasked to matching up one-on-one against Xavier Smith and others on the outside. Now, the problem with that and how FAMU can slow those rushers down if the guys aren't able to block them is with quick passes. Quick passes, and if they're able to establish any kind of running game. Quick throws, quick on-time, on-target throws will slow some of that pass rush down. And if they're able to have some success with that early, you will see Dennis Thurman call off the dogs for just a bit. Now, how the JSU DBs, which is just crazy talented, how they're able to match up against the receivers at FAMU, on paper, I like the JSU DBs, but I seen Xavier Smith, and Xavier Smith got loose for 10 catches last week. Xavier Smith knows how to get open. He just does. He just knows how to get open. So that is going to be interesting. Jeremy Musa with real pressure, real guys in his face, multiple blitz packages, multiple stunts on the defensive front, and multiple guys coming to try to wring his neck. How is he going to deal with that? That is going to be interesting because I love the way he played last week. I thought he played admirably. I thought he played tremendously. I thought he did things that I just didn't expect him to do. He played so well that his backup, Rashawn McKay, who was once the starter last year, starter, said, I don't even want to go in the game because the man's playing too good. Hats off to Rashawn McKay. He's a better man than me. I wouldn't have been able to do that. I'm just saying, if coach want me to go in the game, I'm going to go in, even if the guy's playing extremely well. But you can say that's selfish or whatever. That is why I said it's admirable that Rashawn McKay took the stance that he took. Next, the Jackson State offense versus the FAMU defense. Now, I don't know if we got a fair evaluation of the FAMU defense and the way they played against North Carolina. Because one thing North Carolina was able to do, Drake May in his real debut, his coming out party, the quarterback for North Carolina, he was able to throw it all over the field. But most importantly, North Carolina was able to run the ball all over the field. Their freshman running back, his name was Omarion something. Omarion was getting loose. And then the other guy, his backup, was a true freshman too. He was getting loose too. It will be interesting to see if Jackson State tries to run the ball like how North Carolina did. You have Savion Wilkerson, who I think could come in and become easily one of the best, if not the best back in the SWAC. I think Caleb Johnson has that title. But Savion Wilkerson can come in and challenge Caleb Johnson for that title. You also have Santee Marshall, who runs hard. He's small, but he runs hard. We know how hard he runs. J.D. Martin is really, really good player. And then, of course, Tyson Alexander. Will they be able to establish the run? Because if they establish the run early, now I don't know if that's what their game plan is going to be because we know they have the air raid offense. But if they're able to establish the run early, this could be a long day for FAMU. This could be a very, very long day for FAMU. Hit that thumbs up button because Shedeur Sanders, I think this year is going to have a special type of season. I think you combine the improvement of the offensive line. I mean, the man won the Jerry Rice Award, the SWAC Newcomer, the Freshman of the Year Award, and all those national awards last year with the worst offensive line in the country, or one of the worst offensive. It felt like the worst offensive line in the country, and he still was able to put up 30 touchdowns, less than 10 interceptions, and over 3,000 yards. I think he's going to be on a 35 touchdown, 35 to 40 touchdown pace, 4,000 yard type of season. That's what I think we're going to expect from Shedeur Sanders this season. And so that way, if they're able to run the ball, and Shedeur Sanders, you have to play honest, and you give one-on-one matchups to Shedeur Sanders, Kevin Coleman, Trevante Rucker, and those guys. Woo, it's going to be a long day for FAMU. That's why Isaiah Land playing is critical. Because if Isaiah Land is playing, he will make a difference. He will make Shedeur Sanders uncomfortable back there. If BJ Bowler is playing, he will make a difference. He will be able to make some plays out there at the defensive back position. But if FAMU is underhanded again, this plays right into Jackson State's wheelhouse. Now we'll have to wait and see if there's any updates. I know Tom Mars, a lawyer for Isaiah Land, continues to speak in optimism, continues to say that he believes that his clients will get freed essentially. He believes that, but we have to continue to wait and see. This is something that may play out way past the Jackson State game. They may have to serve those full 4-game suspensions. I hope not, for their sake. But I mean, it is something that we have to continue to watch out for. Hit that thumbs up button. But if y'all if FAMU gives Shedeur Sanders all day to throw, and if Jackson State is able to establish the running game, which North Carolina was able to do, and Drake May had a lot of time, this could be a long day. This could be a long day for FAMU. I just wasn't thrilled about what I saw from their defense. They played admirably for the most part, but the second half, the 21 points in the fourth quarter, because they was only down 11 at halftime. But the 21 points in either the third or, in the fourth quarter, and then the third quarter, you saw the fatigue. And that's the thing if the guys aren't eligible for FAMU. The fatigue will set in. We saw it last week against North Carolina. We will see it once again if those 17 guys still aren't eligible, including Isaiah Land and BJ Bowler and Cam Corbin. If that is the case, the fatigue will once again set in at halftime. I'm not saying they won't, and they will, I think, keep it close in the first half. But that third quarter, and specifically that fourth quarter, that fatigue is going to set in if you only have 7 offensive linemen. That fatigue is going to set in if you have limited amounts of defensive linemen. And that is what you don't need against an offense in JSU, which I think is going to be historically special. I just do. And a defense in JSU that attacks. They're an attacking defense, meaning they come after the quarterback. They come after the running back. They force your guys on the outside to make plays and your quarterback to make smart and timely decisions. Now, if your quarterback is able to make smart and timely decisions, and if your outside weapons are able to make plays, you can have a good day against Jackson State. We saw it. South Carolina State, they gave you the blueprint. Jackson State tells us they're not changing much except personnel. They're not changing their schemes, at least on defense. All they did was change personnel. They brought in players they felt like were better than last year's team. They lost some good players, the James Houstons of the world, the Antoine Owens of the world, but the CJ Holmes of the world. But then they replaced them in their mind with guys who may even be better, and with a unit that they absolutely think is better. But your quarterback, who I think has the ability, Jeremy Musa, and he has one guy that I know can make some plays and that will make some plays on Sunday, and that's Xavier Smith. Who else can step up? Because it can't just be those guys. And when does the fatigue set in for that FAMU offensive line? Because as soon as it sets in, that's when the game is over and it goes over to Jackson State. If they can hold off the fatigue factor, or maybe even by a miracle get a couple of more guys eligible before Sunday's game, we have a classic game in store, in my opinion. Now, predictions. I think this will be a high-scoring game. I think this game, I think this is going to be a fun game, man. I think this game is going to be the highlight to a lot of folks Labor Day weekend. And I think we're going to see some fireworks, man. I really, really do. I think FAMU hangs in there for most of the game. I do ultimately think that the fatigue plays a factor. And I think the fatigue sets in that third and specifically that fourth quarter like it did against North Carolina if they are still undermanned. Now, there will be updates whether guys remain ineligible or if a couple of more guys become ineligible. We already know there will be a few guys that's going to miss the whole season. It's whether the big-time guys suspension for 4 games upholds, or if they're able to reduce it to just the 1 and play on Sunday against JSU in the Orange Blossom Classic. That is the major. That's the major key. I think this game we could see a lot of points from both teams in the first half specifically. I think at halftime we're talking about 21 to 28 points between each team respectively. I think in the second half is when Jackson State they make a play, some form of whether it's a strip sack, interception, or something. They're going to make a play, at least in my opinion, in the second half because of the fatigue factor with FAMU if their guys remain ineligible, and that is what's going to lead them to victory. I see Jackson State winning this game 38-21, 38-24. I'm going to say 38-24 JSU. They come away with the second straight Orange Blossom Classic victory over the FAMU Rattlers. Coach Willie Simmons and his Rattlers put up a valiant effort. Jeremy Musa once again impresses everybody in the country and lets the rest of the SWAC know that he is a baller in this conference. I think the combination of Shedeur Sanders, Coach Dennis Thurman and his defense, Bartolone's new offense, the air raid offense, but specifically the run game and the addition of Savion Wilkerson is what pushes JSU forward. I seen what UNC was able to do when they ran the ball against FAMU. I think JSU could possibly have similar success with Tyson Alexander, JD Martin, Santee Marshall, and of course, Savion Wilkerson. So that's my prediction, 38-24. Leave your prediction in the comments. Leave who you think is going to win the game. Leave a score prediction. And we might even give something to the person who comes closest to the actual score prediction. Once again, my name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. with the Black Boss Channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JLightsy7. That is Instagram and Twitter right there at JLightsy7. And continue to like the video. Subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 4K. We're on the road to 4K. We're up over 3,100. We're on the road to 4,000. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.